Hi, this is just Laury from paperthreads.com, and my daughter just had a baby girl, and this is a project that is a fun little project for brand new moms or grandmas or whatever. Now, this is a copy of her little foot, and what I did was I took a piece of rubber that I got from enasco.com and made a little rubber stamp of her foot. This foot can be used then for little thank you notes or announcements, new baby announcements. It can also be used for making paper for a scrapbook. Here's a copy of one of the ones that I've done. So let's get started. The first thing you need is the picture of the foot. Second thing that you need is a pencil. What I'm going to do is very carefully sketch over the little foot in pencil so that I get all the lines. So here's the piece that I've cut out in advance. Surface is pretty clean here. Now I'm going to arrange the little foot on there, make sure that all the pieces. Now the next part is to burnish it with a spoon, and I'm going to try to burnish all those little lines that we just put on there. And I'll lift it up, and if you can see, those lines are being transferred over. This technique you can use for any design that you want to trace off of, and then to generate your own stamp. So you come up with your design, you trace it with pencil, then you burnish it with a spoon onto the quick cut, easy cut. I can't remember exactly the name of this. I know that I did get it from enasco.com, and there we go. Now, without moving it, I'm going to check all my lines. They're looking pretty good. There we go. So, the pattern has now been transferred over. That was basically the hard part. Now the next part is to work with using a cutting device. This is a speedball. It comes with several different blades. These are some of the blades you get. I don't particularly use this one. We'll put that out of the way. I use the scoop to scoop out the very edges of it eventually, and kind of this one too, but I use this little tiny one because I kind of like the area around here where it's just little lines, because sometimes they show up. If you don't like those, well, you can get rid of them. So, moving right along. Oh, let's carve around here. And what you need to do is not so much move the blade as to sometimes kind of move the actual piece of rubber and kind of keep the blade fairly steady. So it's kind of like when you're cutting out paper, you will cut sometimes based moving the paper instead of the scissors. It's the same idea. Okay, now I know I'm cutting toward me. With an exacto knife, I'm making slow cuts to get through it and repeating the same cut. Be very careful, please, ladies and gentlemen. If it's kind of like you cut through matte board or any other hard surface. Just take your time. No blood. And since I'm maybe planning to use this one or the other one to make a mold, I kind of want the sides to be interesting too. So this particular tool will help me make an interesting side to it. But once again, be careful. Let's take a stamp and see what it looks like. This is a testing part. So if it doesn't look exactly the way it should, that's okay. Oops, there's a little bit of glop there that's going to show up. Sometimes you get little pieces that are... Okay. Pressing down evenly all the way around. And let's take a look. So there is the original, and there's my little carving. Well, I think I'm pretty happy with this. I think there's always little pieces that kind of get to you, but I think this is good. So I'm going to call it quits, and there we go. So, making a little footprint from the hospital print that you get from the hospital. It makes a lovely little gift for a grandma or a mother, and there you go. This is just Laury from paperthreads.com.